Hello humans, it's Stephen again, and today I'm playing Automobilista again, but I'm also looking at the rest of the Riser Studio DLC content that's coming to rFactor 2 in the near future. First I'll be looking at the track, which is Guaporé, a small old track in Brazil, and then two cars. First the track. This is short and tight, but don't let that stop you liking it. It's based on an old aerodrome which had two runways that were almost perpendicular to each other, hence the odd T-shaped layout. But it's got two magic ingredients. First, the home straight is over 800 meters long and it's very wide, so it's a genuine drafting opportunity and promises a lot of fun at the first corner. The second magic ingredient, which I think is actually the defining characteristic of the track, is the banking in the corners. The banking can go as high as 10 degrees, which ensures that although the track is actually quite tight, it's rather fast. And also, very entertainingly, drivers can pick multiple lines through the corners. Now it's time to look at our first car. This is the Metalmoro AJR. It's a state-of-the-art prototype, and it's quite a sight. Here it comes. Ah, yes, my mistake. It's the Formula V. To the showroom. Ah, the dear old Formula V. Really, it should be called the Formula V Dub, because it's got an engine from an old VW Beetle slung on the back of it. Yes, a 1.6 litre Type 1, would you believe it, rear-wheel drive engine. Now, this produces just 85 horsepower, but it is light at 530 kilograms, and it's got a very old-fashioned 4-speed 8-shifter gearbox. It's noisy, it's slow, it's temperamental on the track, and it's probably one of the most exciting cars in Automobilista. Let's have a look at it doing a hot lap, and then I'm going to do just a 2-lap race with the AI. So this will be a quick taster of the Formula V, just 2 laps at Guaporé. Let's get on with it. Mighty throaty roar from the V-dub engine behind me.
Check the green flag. Go, go, go.
Now with the Formula V's narrow tyres and rather primitive suspension, grip is at a premium with this car, especially when the tyres are cold, which makes turn 1, or turn as it is in Portuguese, forgive the pronunciation, rather tricky. And it's like slow motion racing in this car, which can be very satisfying. We're going to get intimate with this curb here every time you take a corner. And as I said in the introduction, these banked curves do promote lots of different lines. You can late apex it, you can slide around them. And here's the fastest corner on the circuit, Radio d'Or. Nice friendly camber that dips down. And here's the only real elevation change on the circuit, but it's tricky because you have to change direction right on the crest and it unsettles the car. And now here's the last corner, Vittoria or Victory curve. I can never get it right, whether it's my gearing or coming in too fast. I don't know, but I'm losing a good second a lap and I still can't work out that corner, but never mind. Perhaps I should rename it Defeat Corner. Now, as ever, it's picking the braking point. These cars don't have brake lights, but if you keep an eye on them, they do dip quite violently under braking, which is a good visual indicator that you're about to smack into the back of one. The behaviour of these cars do change once the tyres get up to temperature. But they're very unusual. It's rather like driving a front-wheel drive engine car in some respects, in that you have to keep the suspension loaded. The car's much happier with a little bit of throttle when going through corners. Here we go through the Essay corner. I'm never sure whether to go up into fourth here. And it's all about getting the foot down, but the Formula V is very temperamental in that respect. The back will come out if you so much as look at it. And that's going to be the end of the race.
The session is over.
I started last and I finished last. That's what I call consistency. So, time for a cheesy video effect. It's a pity that the main stand at Guaporé is empty, because people are missing a treat. This is the Metalmoro AJR, a real Brazilian prototype built last year. It was designed by Metalmoro to be faster than an LMP2 for the price of an LMP3 car, yours for a snip at 200,000 euros. So Automobilista has taken the opportunity to supply 4 different versions of this car. Whether they'll make it into R-Factor 2 is yet to be seen. But there's a Chevy V8, a Judd V10, a Honda Turbo, and a PowerTech V8. All of them drive slightly differently because they have different power units and also have different weights. More importantly, to my mind, is that they all have different sounds. I thought you might like to hear all 4 different sounds, both from outside and inside the cockpit, so I'm just going to do a quick run down the home straight and then I'll pick one. In the end, I plumped for the 3.2 litre PowerTech V8, and who could blame me? It produces 484 horsepower and glorious thumping downshift sounds. This is going to be a 3-lap race against the rest of the AJRs, and let's see what happens. First thing to note is the wonderful rear end appearance of these cars. They look just like the old Group C cars to my mind. I've got a joke for you. What do a Formula V and a bank robber have in common? They both don't like any sudden movements. Whereas the AJR is the opposite. It's about the most planted car I've ever driven in a sim. In fact, it's perfectly feasible to get a sub 60 second lap out of these things. And as you can see, you just put your foot down and it goes. Flat spotting the tyres there. And you can see how the banked curving really keeps the circuit flowing along. Now Guaporé's main race of the year is actually a Formula Truck race, and of course Formula Truck is available in Automobilista as part of their DLC, and they've recently had turbo modelling installed, so if you thought they were lively before, they're fantastic now. But I mentioned Formula Truck because about 10 years ago the Formula Truck races actually ripped up the tarmac here. They damaged it so badly that the future of the circuit was in doubt, and it took a number of years for the tarmac to be repaired, but I'm glad to hear that it's now back up to scratch and the circuit seems to be making a good recovery. It hosts a huge variety of touring car championships and motorcycle championships and endurance races. And these cars are monsters. Really spectacular cars, and I hope R Factor 2 fans will enjoy driving these cars on all sorts of circuits.
That's the checkered flag.
Well, thank goodness for that. Talking and driving one of these things. There we go. Grammar and comprehension has left me entirely. I better shut up.
Caution flag is out.
Thank you for that. Anyway, that's enough of me prattling on. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.